Hello everybody, Richard Roy 2 here. This is a video response to Eli, who is currently unavailable, and I'm going to try to keep this narrow to the thing I was talking about in the comment in your video. I've been surprised looking at my own life and going back and observing how fragmented it seems. Very hard to understand how things piece together sometimes, and it's taken some work for me to piece a lot of it together. One of the things I have noticed is that we tend to follow or pursue ideas, and we pursue them to the extent that we can, and all the ideas that we follow a lot of times end up with what I call loose ends, which some people may call dead ends. And what I've found about these is that they are things to be left for further investigation later, some other time. Because what I found with some of these loose ends is sometimes down the road you find connections that join up with these loose ends and start to form other connections, sometimes whole clusters of them, so those wild ones, those eurekas that I enjoy so much. And it's some of the things that go on sometimes, like I was explaining in the comment, that sometimes you take certain things for granted for the longest time, and you've always been there, and then somebody asks a question and you go, oh, of course, it's da-da-da-da-da. But you've caused me to stop, and even though I've had that da-da-da-da-da sort of thing in certain respects, and in particular to do with relationships, you said in one of the videos, with whom is your primary relationship? And I go, well, of course, your primary relationship is with yourself. But it assumes that somebody knows or can explain or understands what a relationship is, when a lot of times what happens is we take these things for granted, because a lot of it is episodic, so to speak. Because we go through episodes in our lives and we see these things lived out. This is a relationship. Da-da-da-da-da. This is what a relationship is. Da-da-da-da-da. We take all this sort of thing for granted. We don't really go to define or understand it in any depth. And when you asked with whom your primary relationship was with, I could give you the answer to that, but one of the questions I could never really answer before, and I kind of, it was a loose end that I had to really focus on finally. So, oh, what is a relationship? What is a relationship? And because there was that tie with that, with whom is your primary relationship, most of the information I get gets clarified if I define it in terms of myself, how it relates to me. So when I answered the question, the relationship was primary to myself. I have to be related to myself. If I can't relate to myself, how can I relate to anybody else? But the thing is, in order for me to define what a relationship is, I had to look back and say, well, what is a relationship to myself? And to me, what that is it's an exploration. I'm continually refining myself, redefining or exploring, bringing up depths of what I am to myself, to continually chase after this thing that always seems to have been the hallmark of my life, and that is to understand. To understand. it was always important to understand. I want to know, I want to understand this. So it's become, I can't say an ambition because it isn't like there was some sort of end to go to. It's just a continual unraveling and opening up. It's like leafing through a book and looking at things to try to see how it develops. And that particular thing allowed me to look at this and say, well, yes, a relationship with the self is an exploration to understand, to try to pursue that. Then I have to say that a relationship with someone else has to be the same thing. It's an exploration. It's something you do, you pursue. So much of our lives are defined by society around us that a lot of times they say that a relationship is till death do us part sort of thing. But, you know, because people change so much in their life, or can have potential to, it's very hard to say that a person's life relationship should necessarily go till death do us part, because there may come a point where you just can't relate anymore. I thought I would relate that to you. I am concerned about what's happening with you. You're an interesting lady. You have an interesting mind. You explore. You're an explorer. I enjoy that about you. But you do have to make a bit of a decision, and I know it's going to be yours. That's the only way you can own it. I wish you all the best, and I hope you find what works for you. And I still hope to see you here, because I do so enjoy that. Thanks. Hopefully we'll see you again